good evening and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Well, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Oxford. On the show tonight is my two big muckers, Stevie and Southside. Evening, gentlemen.
Evening, Ox. Good to be on the night with my big mucker, Stevie, as always. And good evening to everyone listening in this evening.
Good evening, troops. Welcome to the big station, serving the nation. Welcome to Dream Team Wednesday. Come on.
How are you, Southside?
Aye, all right, mate. No, not too bad. I suppose if we get a bit more sunshine, it'd be better than this pouring rain all the time.
Don't blame it on the sunshine. Don't blame it on the boogie. That right, Stevie?
Don't blame it on sunshine. Don't blame it on night. Aye.
How are you, Stevie boy?
Brand new, man. Brand new. You've just got to dig your heels in, draw a line and move on, ain't you? That's all you can do. That's all you can do.
Of course. Listen, last night, it was a strange game, Southside. Strange game. Greasy pitch. We played okay at the start, then you sort of blinked and we were 2-0 down there.
I gave my two halves win to it, but aye, it was like that. We had some nice wee bits of football in the first half, some nice wee quick passing that developed into a couple of chances that we were unlucky, where the goalie made a save and the woodwork saved them. And then obviously the usual, have a mad couple of minutes in a game and your 2 goals do not.
Aye, Stevie, strange. The goals we're losing, you know. Obviously, I look back and John McCausland's not back the shot, but he's not done anything that anybody's not done in the past. You know, a cross comes in and it was a decent ball and the boy, it takes over centre halves and he comes in the back phone, Ridvan's a wee bit alongside it. He squaffs it. They're full, but when it ends up in the back of the net, you're saying, how did that happen?
Oh, Ox, man. We couldn't keep hens out of midden. Our defence is all over the place at times. I think Southside summed it up lovely. A game of 2 halves, no? But, but defending's atrocious the best of times. Any kind of sort of high ball whipped in with a bit of pace, we just can't deal with it. And it's as plain and simple as that, and we need to sort it out. We're woeful. I know we had a makeshift defence. Garrett, a couple of young boys. We just silly defending. We just need to do things better, you know. But they're professional players still, and some of the stuff's woeful. Absolute woeful defending.
Just when you think it couldn't get any worse, Southside. I don't really know what happened. Next thing, it's nothing.
Aye, first goal, listen, he's whipped a decent ball across your box, but it should be cut out. Looking at it back, I watched it on Sports Scene when I come home for the game. Because when you're sitting at a game auction, you see a ball get whipped, you're looking to see how it actually developed and how they managed to score. And King was in the middle of the park and he was just looking at the man and Ridvan was behind him sort of, and they were unaware at that time about the ball that had come in for the back. It was coming in at a back post. And Silva didn't track your runner if you really thought he should have tracked him back to at least all the way, if you were going to, but he hadn't. But aye, listen, they scored and it looks a pure goal for us. The second goal, I think the boy had a cracking wee flick, to be honest. I thought it was a bit of genius, to be honest. I'm not kidding. It wasn't that I'd seen it back. I mean, okay, they worked the 2 on McCausland and whipped the ball in, but honestly, unless we'd somebody in front of him guarding that ball coming into that front area, I thought he finished it really well, to be honest.
It's one of the goals, and we just, you know, you have a goal with something, Stevie, that came off, but it ended up in the back of the net again. For me, I don't think the boy tried that. He just tried to flick it on into the danger zone that's right in the pocket. That's what I think. Stevie, might be right, mate.
I don't think there's no way in the world that big defender tried to do a silky flick like that. No way. He tried to flick it into the danger area and it's just went right into the net. It's a poor cross and the boys made it look half decent with the way he's flicked it into the net, but no way did he try that. I don't think he did anyway. Just my opinion.
Aye, well, you might be right. Only he'll know, but we end up 2-0 down and you're saying, geez, oh, you know, we played better and obviously, but we played worse and been winning, you know, but we weren't great, but it was a false result. And you think, oh, this could go terribly wrong. And young Leon's just come back into the team's south side. And I didn't think he'd done too bad. He was the one that was coming and winning. He doesn't attack the ball, more so than Davis. And I don't think he's a centre-half, Southside. I don't think he is. I think he's the assets to play other positions, but I don't think he's a natural centre-half. You know
no. Listen, he done all right. You could be... People might think he should have been tighter in certain positions and what happened and whatever, blocked the ball. But listen, he just came into the team. He's playing next to Ben Davis, who they've not played a partnership together. And if they have played together at any level, it's not been for a long time. So I thought Leon done all right, and it was a good pass that he played into young Ross McCausland. I think I seen what he tried to do, just nick in front and probably knock it into the box, but the way the ball sort of spun and defender. But listen, he showed a lot of heart to get in there and get his foot on the end there, and he got his goal. It might have been a scrappy goal, but it was just what we needed at that time. We had to come. We didn't want to go in there at 2-0. You could hear the ripples going around Ibrox when the second goal went in, especially. So no, it was a good time to get the goal up just before half time.
Aye, it was. I think they were a wee bit fortunate, Stevie. But as you said, they could have been fortunate with one of their goals. Young Ross does well. He works hard. He gets his foot to the ball and actually goes through the goalkeeper's legs. So 2-1, you think, okay, we're back in the game. Yeah?
Aye. It takes a slight deflection, I think, off the player's leg, foot, and it goes through the keeper's legs. But it's just that wee bit of Dundee switching off at that point in time. We needed that goal at that particular time, because if you get 2-0, could end up a different game. They're going to fight for everything. And getting that wee goal good as a wee lift, get into the second half. But aye, look, you've got to give some of the young boys that Kingy's due. He's not got a lot of game time under his belt too. You've got to remember that too. And he's come in and he's done a decent enough job, but still, that might not be his best position, playing as centre half. But for me, 100%, I think he was signed. Was he not a midfielder, Southside? I'm sure.
It's a boy he played in there, holding midfielder. Southside, I think he plays in there for Scotland, youth, isn't he?
Aye, he's played in the under-21 games. He's played a game or two at right back, but he's played in there beside Conor Bannon in the last couple of games I've watched Scotland.
Aye, I think that right back could be his position. I don't see him, but I think he sniffs danger, and I think the boy's got a chance. You forget he's only 20. If that makes sense, Southside. That's a tongue twister. There you go.
Aye, listen, I don't think he'll break in. Listen, you hear Bridge every other week on the show, and for the last number of years, it's always about 6'4", centre half, somebody dominant in the air and all that, and that's no Leon King, is it? He done quite well last night. He's had a long time out. So I thought he done pretty well for the time he was on. Plus, he assisted by getting McCausland the goal in the first half. I know he's paid to keep goals out, but he had a part to play in the game, and for the length of time he was on the party, I mean, halfway cramped, but it looks like something else. But he's young. Listen, we could maybe develop him. There might be a position that maybe come on to look at. He's obviously training with the first team every day, but if you're playing centre-back positions, Ox, and that in training and whatever he's maybe setting them out today, then do you honestly see him getting a first team game as centre-back in the Rangers team, to be honest?
I don't see him as a centre-back. Well, I don't see it. Yeah.
No, if anything, like you said, you'd possibly use him as a right-back, and he could possibly go in a holding role into midfield and maybe play in there. I've watched him play in there with Scotland and that. But it's how Clement sees it, and we're going to have to rebuild. But I think his future, if I'm honest, will be elsewhere. I don't see him long-term future at Rangers, unfortunately.
Okay. All right, fair enough. And then, well, the second half started, Stevie, and I've got to say, we're quick enough to criticise our team, but the second half, we played some decent stuff, and it could have been double figures, mate. And that's just Dessers.
Well, listen, I think the big man's got tore into him at half time. As they came out a different side, they came out, they showed an urgency. They showed some of the football passages the footballer played was excellent. And as you said, big Dessers, man. He's starting to look the part, Ox. He's starting to look the part. I know it's too little too late regarding the league and stuff like that, but he's still got a good goal tally there. For what he misses a lot of sets for Nora, and it's frustrating, but if you put it in paper, if he takes even half of the chances, and bearing in mind Taylor's no penalties in there. So, you know, the big man, you're totally right. He could have had at least 2 goals last night.
Well, he gets the equaliser, so he said, good header.
Aye, it wasn't. He had to sort of shape his head out a bit to try and get it into the corner. There was good power in it. It just took the bounce just at the corner and went in. But I thought he done well to get his head on it, you know, and to get his second goal. It was a good cross as well for Cantwell. It was a good move that led up to it, and obviously when he tried to get the cross in, the defender blocked it and then got on his right foot and he put in a good ball. And Dessers certainly finished it well. I thought he was unlucky, Ox. I know you're saying he should have had 3, but I thought Cantwell drilled that right across to him. I know. I mean,
it still took a bit of ability to put it in the bar for their side.
It certainly did. I think it was bare his knee, wasn't it? It sort of came off. He just tried to get his leg up, but I mean, he drilled it, and his other header he had, Ox. He was unlucky. That was a really good save for the goalkeeper, in fairness to him.
Yeah, that's the boy who plays number 10 for Scotland at the rugby. Finn Russell, he'd have been proud to get out of the Bartley there. Aye, so we gets the equaliser. Good goal, and obviously we're playing decent stuff. We're actually got them chasing shadows, and then we gets a third goal. A decent cross for Cantwell and just gets too much on it, and it ends up in the back of the net. Stevie, I think it's a cross all day long, but it doesn't matter. You have a bit of luck, you take it.
Aye. It's definitely for me. It was a cross, but only you'll know. See, when you look at it, I've looked at it a couple of times. It's just how he hits it. You're saying to yourself, did he mean that? You know, but for me, it's a cross. There's no way in the world to that. You know, it scores. He tries that and scores it. It's wow. You know, but aye, that's it. A wee bit of luck what we've not had, and it goes in, and that for me, when that goes in, I'm looking at game over after that.
We should have scored more goals. I mean, Dessers is another good effort. What a save, Southside. That was a great save, but the goal, wasn't it?
Aye, he done well. Didn't he scoop it away with his hand? Because it was he certainly had a bit of power behind it and knocked it down towards the goalie right into the corner. Well, sort of just to the side of him, but it was a good save, Ox. It really was. It was a bit close range and all where he put the power into it, but it's about 6 yard box, wasn't it?
The other one were, as we said, under the bar. Then the other one with the whole groan, there was a groan because he'd done his usual. He tried to do the ballet dancer in the box and pirouette when everybody's just wanted to shoot. So we've seen everything for Dessers last night, but his goal return, it's okay. You know, I would think he's in more chances than any other striker in the league, Stevie.
Aye. Listen, I said a way back when everybody was slaughtering them and everything else, I said, I think we've seen the worst of them. I think it's Byway now. And that appears to be, look, he could get better. If he takes Mary's chances and see we stop thinking about things and just hit the ball, he could score a lot more goals. I believe sincerely, Ox, that he was finding his way in the Scottish game. it's his first season, and just let's see where it brings. And I think the big man will do all right. Although I don't think he's our first striker. I think we'll sign another striker. I know we've got Diallo to come back and all, but I think one more striker in there, and the big man would be a great striker to come on, I think. And because his fitness looks a lot fitter as well than Ox. He's running, he's doing a lot more running.
Still, would you disagree with that? That he must have had more chances than any other striker in the league? Maybe double.
We've certainly created a lot for him, and he seems to get himself into the positions where he's getting these sort of type of chances. I've not. Listen, his general play last night was decent. His hold-up play for a change, you can tell with Dessers in the first 5-10 minutes when the ball comes up to him. If he holds it in well and plays a pass and that, it seems to be he'll have no a bad sort of link-up sort of games at times. And last night, he played a nice wee ball through to Silver. The defender was pulling his jersey off him. And he managed to switch it inside to Silver in the first half when he cracked the crossbar with it. He's done well, considering that he's missed a lot of chances. He's no prolific, I still don't think. He needs to still score in the big games when they matter. And some of the big games when they've mattered this year that he hasn't. And he scored in the odd game, but he could have had 2 or 3 and it might have made us win the game instead of getting pegged back and losing the game. Because he could have scored the second one at Ross County, looked an easy chance, and he blazed it down the street. So goals change games, we've always said, but he's got a decent return for somebody that's only had one penalty in the league, one of the cup games, I think, against Morton or something. I think he took the penalty, but apart from that, he's still not good enough, I don't think, Ox, but you could see that it's his first full season, but he lacks basics in certain things in his game. And he needs to be tidier and better than that. We need better, to be honest.
Certainly an entertainer, if that makes sense.
Aye, he's always on at refs, and I'll tell you what, I don't know how we never had a penalty last night.
He
shoved him at, aye.
It's
a stone wall, and then obviously if he gives a penalty, he's got to send the defender off because he's not trying to play the ball. He's just pushed him. He's more or less going to be last man, and there's a few in, but I thought he was just about to put the heat on that until he pushed him in the back. I don't know how that was never a penalty last night. Do you think it was one, Stevie, at the game?
Aye. 100% penalty. Aye. It's definitely 2 hands shove. Yep. The big man should have had a penalty kick. 100%. You're totally right.
Anyway, and then it happened. It's then the moment we must be pushing for player of the season now. The 4th and the 5th goal. We were shocked at that. Stevie.
Scott. Aye, player of the season, huh? What was that? His first and second goal in 2 years?
Aye.
I think that says it all, doesn't it? Look, Gerard's seen something in the boy. He's seen pace and whatever else, but look, man, I think we can all agree on Scott Wright should be at the door at the end of the season, along with a whole other bunch of guys. So for me, look, he's come on, he's got his 2 goals, he's done all right last night, but too little, too late.
I don't disagree. For all the ribbon he's got right, I get the logic of the signing Southside. I don't get the logic in the length of the contract, 4.5 years.
Aye. Listen, he's low maintenance, isn't he? He will not be on a big wage. Probably he was at that age, come back for a serious knee injury 2 years before it. Showed a bit of form at Aberdeen, always played out in the wide right area, and we took a chance on him like we've done with a few players in the past. But listen, he's got something, but he just doesn't bring it. He's not had a lot. He's had a lot of chances and he's just not turned up. And I said on here weeks ago, if Scott Wright can't go and get the right on side of that park, especially when McCausland went out injured as well, it's a sad indictment to him. Aye, he's been out injured as well at times. And when he does play in games, he took a sore game last night again. Another hefty challenge on him. He seems to be one of the players that seems to get whacked all the time when he's on the park for the short periods of time that he's on. Defenders seem to nail him now and again. And it happened to him again last night. when he came on as a substitute. But listen, I don't know, Stevie. He might be here next year. We need to keep a Scottish contingent. He's low maintenance and wages. Unless somebody really comes in from, he might still be about the club, and Clement might use him now and again.
Are you kidding?
Well, he might go if somebody comes in for him. But other than that, he's not going to go, is he? He'll have a year left in his contract, I think, come the summer.
Listen, mate, I would give him away and get him off a wage bill. There you go.
Aye, like I say, he's not going to cost. He's not be costing a lot. But I get the same idea. He should be good to get on the right hand side, play balls, because he's got loads of pace. You know, he has got bits of skill. You've seen it, but he doesn't produce it week in, week out when he's had chances. So probably he should go, but probably he'll stay that extra season. Probably, Stevie, I would think.
I hope no, mate. I hope no. I see where you're coming from, and I can see why you're saying it, but Southside, I want rid of all these guys, man. I want rid of the whole clear out. I know it's going to be hard. You've got players sitting there, a couple of years left in their contracts and all the rest of it. And, you know, I get it, but see the ones that we can get out the door, I want them out the door. And honestly, mate, and if we can get rid of a couple of them by selling them for peanuts, just to get them off a wage bill, I want them. That team don't deserve that. They've had their chance for me. They've had their chance and they blew it. You know, they showed when Clement first came a bit of togetherness and a wee bit of, right, they've got something about them, and then it just, you lost the league up in Ross County, Dundee, plain as simple as that. Well, for me, guys like Scott Wright, there's far too many guys like Scott Wright in that team. They're no good enough for our club, mate. And that's including John Lindstrom, who I thought his corner out said he had a good run of games, and at that particular time, why would you not offer him a... But you were totally right. You said, Steve, you see, he does this, he gives you a burst and then he falls apart. You were totally right. And you've got to put your hands up and see... Listen, we've got no iron in my team. Nobody that anybody fears. Scott Wright's a rather nice young guy, cares more about his hair than he does the strip he pulls on. I want him out the club, mate. That's just how I feel about him now. You've got to see it how it is, and that's my opinion on him.
That's a wee bit of heroism there, Southside, I think.
I know, because the guy does more about his hair's Matondo, innit? 3 years down in Liverpool before a European game, he gets his hair done. Unbelievable. But no, listen, he's right. He's right, Ox. We know, but you know, we all know that if we had the choice and made a magic wand tomorrow, we would probably pick 15 players now, and we could say, right, you just go.
Aye,
you know,
right.
But
you're right.
It will not happen like that, unfortunately. But at least I'd like to think, by the sounds of what Clement was talking about, it is going to be a decent rebuild this time. It has to be.
Right. Okay, I'm glad you said that, right? That's a lovely wee segue. We've got the manager for last night. Do you two fine, upstanding gentlemen want to hear from him?
100%.
Yep.
All right. Let's hear from your gaffer, Philip Clement.
Philippe, what are your thoughts on tonight's match and the comeback from the side?
That with the ball we start with the good intentions from the start. First half with a lot of movement without ball, with good combination play, with not enough efficiency in the final third. But a lot of positive things, but without ball not in the first half. In our reaction after losing ball, in our being strong in the duels, and when you get kicks or pushes and the referee doesn't whistle, to continue going, in our contact in the 16 on crosses. So at the end, the first half, you come out of that with being behind, although you were better on the ball, but it's of no use. If without ball, you're not good enough. So I was really angry about that at halftime, because football, and they know, it's the both sides. And second half, then you see what they can do if they are focused on both things. but I cannot make myself angry every halftime or before every game. That's impossible. It needs to come out of the team, and they need to understand that and take lessons out of this. This is the perfect example today. Boots off the pitch at halftime, and a lot of applause after the game because people enjoyed how they saw the team play, how they saw how we scored, how aggressive they were, how they win the duels, how they didn't concede in the second half. So this is the perfect example. And I hope, and I'm gonna put a lot of attention to that again, to get this out of these last two games. But it needs to come out of the players.
What causes that they can go from being, as you say, not good enough without the ball, and then in the second half, much more dominant? What causes that change?
It's, that's a difficult one because it's a personal one. It's not also about 11 players in the first half. So these are individual things that players, and I told them also, if you want to play for a team like Rangers, that's the basics. That needs to be there every time. If you want to play for a team who ends half of the league, yeah, you can have one moment yes and one moment no. Here, it's all the time, switched on, aggressive in everything you do, with and without the ball. So we need to build a squad like that, where everybody has this internal fire to do it every day, every game.
Would you be surprised after the way that the game went in the weekend that you didn't see that fire you're talking about there?
No, I saw fire, but with the ball. I saw a lot of movement, I saw a lot of quality, and without fire you cannot do that. It was there, but not enough without the ball. And the game of football is not played only with the ball. So that was an important one for today, but it's a message that's been spread around already a few times. So they need to take these lessons in a better way and a more consistent way.
Todd Campbell seemed to sort of looking to drive the team forward in the second half. Are you happy as displayed?
I was very happy with this second half, yeah. That's the thought I want to see every time. And then he makes the difference, and then he gets stats, and then he's important for this club. And it needs to be this fire, desire, every time, with and without the ball, not only one.
That's a great thing that players like Todd and others, they have it in them.
Yes, but look where we were 6 months ago, boys, and we need to be realistic about that. We need to be realistic about that. Where the squad was 6 months ago, where they're now, you need to see also you need to see the age of the team that was on the pitch today, that started and that ended the game also. So we are working hard. They are working hard. I cannot say anything about that the last 6 months, about working and willing to work. Not, but they need to take the right lessons to become really top players and to become a top club. And we're going to work hard all together to get that. And you see again today the potential, but being a top player, and that's the difference. Look at the Premier League, they're all really good players, but the top players are the ones who are there every time, with and without ball, both, not one thing.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Come and join us. Give your thoughts. Is he saying they're not working hard enough? Is that the way you took it, Stevie?
Aye. Yep. For me, he's telling them they're not doing the dirty side of the game enough. Tracking back, tackling, hassling. They're not doing it. They're not doing it enough. And the problem I think he's got is, come on, everything the big one's saying is how I've seen it. But the problem he's got is he's not got the tools to do the job that he wants. They're all too nice, Ox. They're too nice. They're all nice boys. They don't get in and they don't know how to be cute. They don't know how to tackle hard and get right in about it. Yeah, when was the last time we've seen a Rangers player really, apart from Lundstrom on Saturday, like a big idiot, no, we get ourselves back in the game and he does that. Apart from that tackle. When was the last time you seen a real dirty tackle going in for a Rangers player? Tell me when. And you've got to fight every week when you pull that jersey on, Ox. We're too nice.
I get it. I think we've got the ball winner there. Thurber squad. I know you see it, and I feel as if I'm always going on about it, south side, but I think the ball winner's there.
You always come to me when you go on that wee.
I know. I feel as if
I was just waiting for me to come.
For Dijon Sterling. I'm an English mustard man rather than Duke.
No, I'll be honest, listening to that, right? I wish he'd been a bit peed off like that. Probably when we get beat by Motherwell, when he could have said that when we dropped performances against St Mirren, Ross County and Dundee. I think he's come out and he's the right go at them, but a lot of the people were in filling in. That wasn't the ones that I think hasn't been showing that type of attitude after the ball in a lot of the games. He's right in what he's saying, he's pointing it out, right, I get it. But, I mean, obviously, Ridvan just come back and he's got Diamondi and Raskin's just come back in. He's just, Cantwell just come back in after that and that. You know, I felt sorry for Cantwell in the first half when we was talking about that, because he took a lot of hefty challenges and he get painkillers in the first half and all at the side of the park to carry on. Do you think there was a lot? Do you honestly think we lacked a lot off the ball? If you take away the 2 goals, right, but seeing the whole first half, do you honestly think that we really stood after them a lot and we gave up a lot against them?
I think he was maybe looking for Murphy, more energy for his 3 play. If you like, McCausland, Cantwell and Silver in the first half. But I thought even last night with the piece, mate, again pass you on Diamandi by. Passed him by again.
Well, listen, he wasn't brilliant, right? But I thought he worked hard at times. He tried to cover back. He put in tackles. Still, you're trying. I mean, he's got in there for the first time playing beside Raskin and all. He's got to try and strike up a bit, sort of rapport and all. But I thought last night we moved the ball a lot quicker. I thought Raskin, Diamondi, Cantwell, Silver, and McCausland, I thought when they passed it about and there was a lot of better movement. Dessers was obviously joining in. I mean, all right, it's Dundee, you can only take it. I'm only talking about for what I've seen. You took Lundstrom out of there, then you're no slowing the game down. So I thought they moved the ball up a bit quicker, and I think that's how Cantwell enjoyed the game. There wasn't so many long balls. You know, we didn't punt a lot of long balls last night.
See, Diamandi. Can I come in there about Diamandi?
There you go, mate.
Listen, Diamandi's as strong as Cochrane's tea, right? This is the problem we've got. Diamandi's built like a pencil. He's no strong enough, right? Cantwell, no strong enough, right? And then we've got a guy there, the big Sterling fella, who's played in 6 other positions, but give or take, in that Rangers team. And we all want him in that midfield. And this is where I've got a gripe with Clement. He's strong. He's pacey. He's got some engine. He doesn't stop. He can tackle. And we've got... Listen, see the boy Diamandi will work all day long, but he's not strong enough. He needs to build himself up. The boy is not strong enough. And see when we go to Motherwell playing against the Farmers' Sons, guys that can't play football and all they want to do is kick, fight, scratch and lie and cheat. Diamandi will be nowhere. That game, you're right, Ox. That game did pass him by. Again, he's no strong enough. He needs to build his top of his body. He's no strong enough. And that's the problem.
Did you mention kick, scratch and cheat? That sounds like some of these websites that Southside looks at.
They chance of that. But I tell you, no, Diamandi will be a good player, right? You can see the boy's got stuff. He's too fitted. He does get stuck in. It'll take him a wee... This is his first sort of season here. No, it'll take him a wee bit of time.
I'm not saying the boys discard the boy, but listen...
I agree with you.
The games in the last few weeks, he's been pretty... non-existent, mate. But there's a part of that blames the system as well, mate.
Aye, maybe so. I thought probably if we'd had If Ridvan had stayed fit the way it was going, I thought it would have been Ridvan, Diamondi, and if Cortez hadn't got injured, that would have been our left-hand side of our team. And I think that's the way it would have worked. And I think Diamondi would have probably struck up a good relationship, trying to feed him. Then there'd be a couple of games that they sort of played together, they were all right. Diamondi will turn out. I agree, Stevie, a bit lightweight. So was Aribo when he first came up. He was getting shoved off the ball and knocked about, and you're saying don't play him at Pataudry or that because he'll just get battered about. But he sorted it out the following season. He didn't play many games against him either and get shoved about. But he sorted that out the following season going forward. So hopefully Diamondi will build himself up a wee bit more. But I think he will be a good player. I think he shows enough talent. He's still young, and I think he'll get better. And I think when he's got better players round about him, football players, then I think you'll see a better Diamondi.
Well, Southside, where I'll give him the benefit of the doubt is what Ox says. That system we're playing with that big gap in the middle of the park, that's no helping the boy. That's definitely no helping the boy. But I still maintain what I've seen him up until now. He's no strong enough for the game yet. He's finding his feet, I get it. The system might not be helping him. But there's games he looks hell of a slow. He looks knackered running about that midfield. Although he still keeps going and keeps going. Yes, and you're right, he's got something about him. But can we afford to have another season of guys that, we thought he was going to be? Listen, I'm looking for a bit of... Now, I'm going to sound the silliest guy in radio here. I'm looking for a Stuart McCall. I'm looking for somebody who can tackle, fight, and has got an engine. And I know they're hard to find. But we're looking for players like that. I thought we had it in Nico Raskin. But he can't pass 10 yards once he wins the ball. That's his problem. I really thought we got it in Nico Raskin. But no, for me, I just think our team, there's nobody fears anybody in our team. We've not got enough iron. We don't do the dirty side of the game. As I said, and I'll say it again, Ross County, Dundee's, Motherwell, St Johnstone, you don't get to play football in these places. It's all about guile. It's all about fight and determination and application. And I just think we're too weak.
We must be the only team in the league that doesn't pull jerseys. Have you noticed that? Even at the weekend, you can buy anybody that pull jerseys.
Yep.
You know.
I'm not
we
need to learn the dirty side of the game. We need to fight for that jersey. And our boys don't do it. They're all too nice. Tav, nicest captain we've ever had in many a year. You know, they're all nice boys. Big Desers. You know, he doesn't got the elbows. He doesn't fly in. They're all too nice. We need a couple of enforcers in that team. That's what we need. Whether it's a defender centre or a big killer centre off that Bridges looking for, or whether it's somebody like Ian Ferguson in the middle of that park. We need somebody that people fear.
You've got him, mate. You've got him. But Southside will say, you would say that.
Yeah.
Right, because we're going to get a proper midfielder in there, a real one. That's what he's going to get and buy.
You've got him there, mate.
Listen, we've got him as a right back. Stick him in at right back. There'll not be many wingers I'll go by. John Sterling in the right back position.
Ferguson, he didn't come as a defensive mid, did he?
No.
No, he didn't. Listen, we signed Dean Redford as a striker and he went left back eventually, didn't he? I mean, listen, things happen. Andy Little came in as a striker and played right back for us in the first team under Walter in games.
Made his debut, aye.
Right, so, but what I'm saying is, listen, he's getting used now because we'll have nothing else left in the midfield at the time. We're getting players back. Well, it'll be interesting, right? We'll go to the cup final and it'll be interesting to see where he plays John Sterling if he's fit. Because if no injuries happen to Diamandi, Raskin, Cantwell and the rest of them, it'll be interesting when we get to that game what team he picks, because we'll all be expecting certain players to be in certain positions and we're expecting maybe a different, you might think people might go for a 4-3-3 that day than a 4-2-3-1. But listen, a 4-2-3-1 got us to tap our Europa League group. It's got us to virtually flinging away a league title in our own hands. it's won as a cup, and it's got us in a Scottish Cup final. So there can't be too much wrong with a 4-2-3-1.
Aye, it's all right if you get the right personnel there.
Well, you might look at it, aye. I know we've been hampered all season with injuries. That's why probably when he gets to rebuild a good squad, we'll get a freshness about it. We'll get no doubt about when we go to certain grounds that people maybe think, oh, here we're going a bit tough today, we can't win. We're happy if teams come in our faces because we'll stand up to them. That's the type of player we need. If you only become a legend when you start winning games and you start winning trophies. That's the way it should be. When you set the standards, standards have dropped. Your standards have been since we come back up, we've won the league, you know that. Even directors said we should have been happy about it. As if, all right, but no, standards are driven by winners. So we need to get winners.
Right, what we'll do is we'll hear the second part of the manager's interview and hopefully we get some callers in. So let's hear for the gaffer again.
Philippe, you spoke obviously about a rebuild and understand that's a question for another time, but my question tonight would be the young boys that played, the likes of Cole McKinnon, who came in maybe at right back and his attitude application was really good. Do they have a chance to force themselves into your plans and thoughts for the future?
Of course. And it's not that suddenly they come falling out of the sky and they can play this position and they can play in the team and they know where to run or what to do. We are working from October, from the first day, we are working with integration of all the young lads. We're busy with that also for next season. Also guys who are not today in the selection, to get them into the squad. It's an important thing. They've been training a lot with us to get the principles, to understand what's demand in the first team, all these things, all of them. Also players like John Lee was on the bench, for example. So Cole trained also several times as right fullback. It's not something new for him. I know his best position is in midfield, but we need sometimes to plan in advance to find first solutions, and he needs to do that in training. Because of that, they can do what they do. For example, Ross McCausland last season trained 5 times with the first team. 5 trainings with the first team. Then you cannot be ready to step in. So we're busy already 6 months with this program to get integration of the second team players as much as possible in our trainings. Cannot be all the time because you have 1-2 days before the game tactical trainings that you do more with 20 players. But all the other trainers, the trainings, they're always involved. And in that way, they know what to do. And secondly, they feel also safe and good in this environment. It's not like, okay, now suddenly Cole McKinnon or Robbie Fraser needs to play with Tavernier next to them. No, they've been already so many times in the dressing room together, so many times on the training pitch together, that they feel comfortable with them. And the other guys also. They also seen also more the qualities. So we're going to continue with that. It's a major part, what we said a few months ago. This club comes out of a financial difficult situation. It's not a good thing to have 6 players out of contract, so they don't have any value to sell. And then you need to make decisions if they stay or not. The club needs for the future to get also money in by producing or making players better, to getting young players in and to make them better that you can sell them later on, but also for sure out of academy, getting players and producing players who can be starters in the first team. And that needs to be a model that we will build the next couple of years. That's not work of 1 week or 2 weeks or 6 months or even 1 year or 2 years. No, but it needs to be, it's an important thing. And in that way, it was important that we gave chances from the beginning to Ross, so he could be also a symbol for academy. And out of that, Cole and Robbie and John Lee and all the others, they feel also, it's possible. It gives belief. And that's what they're showing on the pitch now. So does it mean that they are ready to start every game and to play every game? Not yet, but I hope they're going to challenge all the others. For me, it's not important how old somebody is. it's important what they show on the pitch.
Philippe, Ridvan, Neil managed a fine game left back, some good subs and forward runs, but you withdrew him after an hour. Was that precautionary or is there an injury concern?
No, it's medical staff told me maximum 60. They preferred 45. But I thought in halftime it was important to have him with his qualities also to restart like that. And that's another example. It's a player coming out of an injury, doing good things with the ball, but on the first goal, he forgets our principles and he forgets the contact in the 16 and we get a goal against. But he comes out of injury, so he needs to gain rhythm. He needs to take this lesson again. It will be for sure in his head the next 2 games, like he did before when he played really good games. And it's about learning out of those situations. So no, it was the plan to take him out after 45 or 60 minutes.
Thanks for that, Fox. I thought Ridvan, the 90 minutes, was our best player, but I thought Cantwell was arguably our best player in the second half. Stevie?
I can't argue with that. I remember Ridvan, I was looking there and I think he was ready to get took off, and then he went in a 40-yard run. You're going, if this wee man scores this goal, how can he possibly take him off? But listen, I agree with you. Cantwell was good in the second half. He really was. Some of his wee flicks and touches, he was starting to show a wee bit of class, you know. But, I mean, what can we say? He's talking about the youngins and everything else coming through. There's got to be a pathway, Ox. There's got to be that training centres. We've got to start seeing somebody coming through. I know we've got McCausland and that coming through, the young boy at the back here, was it Robbie Crawford? These boys, they've got to get Mary a chance, but it's just pressure at Rangers. When do you fit them in? Is it putting them on when you're 2-0 and 3-0 in games and giving them a second half? Is it when do you put them in? This is the problem for me. This is how a lot of them don't get chances. Just too much pressure on Rangers.
The young bloke came on at left back last night. I thought he showed real decent pace. Southside, I know you've watched the B team a few times. Fair play to the boy in his debut. He was just scared to get down the park nearer. We couldn't judge him defensively, but I thought he done well for a debut. And should be proud of himself because he's played for the first team, mate. Yeah.
Aye. He's been here. He's been at Ibrox for 14 years. Must have been a proud moment for him and his family and his pals and everybody that was there at Ibrox last night to see him make his debut. Listen, that's the thing. But you only got that cameo role that we saw for him last night for when Ridvan went off after 60 minutes. He had a good half hour. And the boy's been bursting to get a chance. And so I thought he done pretty well. I thought when Ross McCausland moved out to that side as well, it's probably just back to like playing when you were playing in a B team together, you know. They're used to how each other maybe works and runs and that. But it was good to see him come on the park. I was delighted. I seen his interview after it on. He was bursting with pride. And hopefully, I'm not sure. I think his contract might be up at the end of the season. I'm not sure he might have 1 year left. I'm not 100%. But as Stevie says, we need to try and get some of these boys in the academy. Listen, we've been out and bought Nico Raskin in 2021, whatever age he is, and we've been out and bought Diamande. When, by all accounts, you're saying pressure and all that, Stevie. Well, it's pressure for them. What if they can't handle it? We've got boys there bursting to play and try and get in the team. And unless you can give them a chance, because some people aren't impressed with Diamande, as we've heard on here before with people phoning in. So why no? Cole McKinnon's a midfielder. Why would you try and integrate him into the team and see if you could get a gem out of him? He'll certainly show you heart and desire. He's been at the club. He trains with the players. It's about giving him a chance. I'll make mistakes. I'll dip in for him. Same as Ross McCausland. The only one thing I noticed last night about Ross McCausland I was so happy about was see every time he went into the middle of the park and he picked the ball up box. That's the Ross McCausland I watched for the B team. Burst forward in a straight line.
Away for you,
he can just go either direction, and I watched him do that. Aye, and he's got low gravity, and he's just fearless. He just wants to go forward in a straight line and go and commit. And obviously when he nicked the ball or the players fit, the wee flick across to Scott Wright to score his second goal. That was an assist for him and all. And if you look what he did last night, I thought he was really good when he was sort of in the
Anyway,
centre of the park
one
at times.
criticism, when he was running through goal, he should have passed it to Dessers with a tap-in, shouldn't he? The first half.
Oh, in the first half, aye, probably should. Big man was going off his head, but
He should have done. He'd done everything right. Yeah, I can understand why he done it, Stevie. You know what I mean?
Aye. Choice making. They'll make mistakes, won't they? It's experience. I mean, as Southside says there, he just touches it to the left, the big man's got a tap in. But when you've trapped a shooter and get round the player and you're in front of goal, you're always going to whip up to you, aren't you? Well, you can't really blame a boy, but in a big game, you're wanting him to just put that to Dessers to slide the ball in the pocket, aren't you?
Maybe. It's Dessers we're talking about. He might a pirouette trying to beat 4 players.
Take 4 touches.
he took one shot in the second half. If you remember, the ball came across first time and he had a shot with his left foot, put it by the post.
Decent effort, mate.
It wasn't that you could hear a wee ripple around the stadium as if, well, aye, that's what you should be trying to do, no?
Oh, but a tough crowd. Doesn't seem to bother Big Dessers, does it? Nothing seems to bother him.
No.
There's always that big stupid grin in his face, isn't he?
Aye. Listen, a lot of players would have melted, let's be honest. The criticism he got for the Rangers fans, a lot of players wouldn't have come back for that. There's no way in the world they would have come back for it. They would have had. The big man's no. He's just got on with it. He's just dug his heels in and got on with it. He's rubber-eared it and he's starting to score a few goals now. I mean, he's been unlucky against them the last few games. He's got his goal there on Saturday, got one chopped off at Ibrox. And if I can remember right, in another game against them, did they know he set up man and the goal get chopped off on it? But he's doing all right against them. I just think the big man's... I know he's got to be our first choice centre forward, but for me, he's doing all right. He's starting to show that, can you keep him? You probably could, aye. But no, he's a first choice striker.
Would they be an old-fashioned cult hero, Southside?
Oh, I don't know what you can say about Dessers, to be honest. You just don't know what you're going to get, do you, to be honest? But listen, he's carried on. He took the criticism, said he hadn't been up to fitness before he came and whatnot. But he's just, sometimes you're thinking he'll go into a position, he's not naturally, I think, he's not a natural predator about the box. He's not like a McCoyster Boyd and things like that, where he would just go and find the space, know where the ball's going to land and just stick it in the net. But sometimes when he doesn't think about it, he seems to score a bit easier. I mean, that header last night, would you have expected him to do that? I mean, we've said all season, there's no point in putting high balls in our bolts, because we've nobody in there that can header a ball. Then suddenly last night, he pops up with two chances and he scores one with a head, and the other one he's unlucky. So, you just don't know what you're going to get with Mox, but long term, no. But as you say, Stevie, first full season, you're going to make the team better. But I just don't see Dessers being his main focal striker. But he'll still be at Ibrox next year if nobody's coming in to buy him. No chance. There's no chance. No, he's well happy here.
Anyway, we're building up to the tune. Come and join us. 0141 356 1972. Decent performance. I went for Ridvan man of the match. He was only on for another. But I thought the second half, Campbell had played like that in the first half. He'd been man of the match, but I thought Ridvan he looks intelligent to me, and I'm glad Kim Monch picked him up for the goal. I think that's good. Saying, right, okay, made a mistake. Stevie?
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said there, Ox. You broke up.
I'm glad that Kim Monch said he was a wee bit slack in his play getting back, because that's what he's talking about off the ball. It's all right doing all the stuff, mostly going forward, looking good on the ball, but you've got to do, as you say, the dirty side of the game. Get yourself the right side of the play. Get yourself in line with your defence when you're defending. You know, it's all expected of you.
You've got to track back. You're 100% the dirty side of the game. You've got to track back. You've got to throw your body in front of balls when people are shooting. You've got to get in there with a hard tackling. You've just got to do it. Once they get the ball, you're the first line of defence, aren't you? You're centre forward. You've got to track back and get into the game. You've got to do it. Your manager's telling you. You've got to go and do it. And I think he's been frustrated because he sees guys not doing it. And he's starting to get fed up. You can hear it in his voice. You can hear it in the big man, the way he was talking about it. You can see it. You know the players he's talking about too. I mean, Silva. I mean, there's another guy, 35 million. The price tag's killing that boy. It's as plain as simple as that. But his antics, and he's rolling about, and he gets touched, and he gets done in instalments. And is he a fighter? That boy's not a fighter. That boy's wanting to play in big stages and where you can get European suits him, where you can get more room and time in the ball. He's not into hustling, bustling, fighting, and getting right and taking his sleeves rolled up and putting his head down at somebody's feet. He's not interested in that at all. He's a film star, the boy. And that's what's wrong with our team. They don't do the dirty side of the game. They've just not got the personnel for it. They're all too nice.
Silver's shown he's got ability, but all the pieces not been a success. Southside, he could have set himself up. We've not really mentioned it, but he could have scored at the weekend, yeah. Made it a different game.
Listen, he's got ability. Whether he's, when you get into the Premier League, it's a totally different game of football that you get down there. Pace and everything's quicker. He's quite intelligent. If he's playing with better players, we don't actually know what his best position is, do we? Really? By all accounts, it's back to, it's a number 10 again. But listen, he showed up in the second half last night. I thought he showed a lot more fight and desire for the team at times, and he went on a wee run where he beat 2 or 3 players, and I think just to the end he tried to go again and he should maybe have tried to shoot a pass, but he showed a lot more effort last night. He's got something, but I don't expect to see him maybe next season if I watch Wolves in any games that he'll be playing in the first team. I wouldn't think.
No chance. No chance. Absolute no chance. The boy,
I'd be surprised. I'd be surprised, you know.
I don't want to be rotten to the boy Oxide. I hate doing it. The boys come up and he's trying to do a turn, but I've got to say, I wouldn't even pay 3.5 million, never mind 35 million. I'm sorry. It's trial and error. That's a good thing about loan players. And in this case, I definitely we get out of jail with one there anyway.
Southside.
Aye, he's just, listen, he's come into the team for January time, and he's just no sort of cut the mustard for us, and he's missed a few chances. He's got a bit of skill here and there. We've seen the theatrics here and all. But probably in the market, he's probably worth more 3.5, probably, if he was going direct again, like you say. When you go to the Premiership, you just go for funny money. Some amount of money they've paid for the boy. They're thinking that him coming up here, playing with us, where you have to win every week, you're getting that environment, you're getting European football. They're thinking he might get back down there and be a better player for the experience up here. But we'll find out as time goes on whether that's the case or no. But last night, second half, he certainly put in a lot more effort than what we've seen of him in recent times.
His best game was against Benfica away. Without a shadow of a doubt. He was great that night. But, again, as I said, in Europe, you've got more time in the ball, more space, different quality of player. Football players, no big firmer sons want to kick you all over the place. And unfortunately for the boy, that's exactly what we've got. Just guys that want to go out and stick their boot into Rangers players. And you don't get much protection for referees here, do you?
No, anyway, get yourselves on mute, boys, because we're going to have a tune.
Ever since I recall, I have followed football, and ingrained in my heart are the Rangers FC. Through good and the bad, times of happy or sad, it will always be Rangers for me. For when I was a lad, I was led by the hand down the Paisley Road West. I will never forget that beautiful sight of the red, blue and white. From that day I'd be Rangers for life. And I vowed to my dad, if I too have a lad, I will show him the way as he did on that day. So now here I stand with young Lyle by the hand, after walking down Paisley Road West. For when I was a lad, I was led by the hand down the Paisley Road West. I will never forget that beautiful sight of the red, blue and white. From that day I'd be Rangers for life. There's a great sense of pride that I feel deep inside when I'm watching the Giles with my father and son. And it's sure safe to say, at the end of the game, win or lose, we will all follow on. For when I was a lad, I was led by the hand down the Paisley Road West. I will never forget that beautiful sight of the red, blue and white. From that day I'd be Rangers for life. For when I was a lad, I was led by the hand down the Paisley Road West. I will never forget that beautiful sight of the red, blue and white. From that day I'd be Rangers for life. That beautiful sight of the red, blue and white. From that day I'd be Rangers for life.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
All right, thanks for that, folks. Just get a wee message, a wee announcement to make. Obviously, there's been some controversy about a call that was made the other night in Rangers Radio Monday evening. And unfortunately, we're totally live, and it's very difficult once somebody says something we can't retract it. My show goes out totally live. The person who made the comments directed to Linda has been banned for Rangers Radio, and as far as we're concerned, that's done, and it was done instantly. We don't need other people preaching to us how to conduct ourselves. We know how to conduct ourselves. Okay, enough about that. Okay. Right, Southside, it was interesting what you said there about the boys and that. Yeah, you've got to get them training, building up, and it's a journey you're on, isn't it? You know, there's no many Wayne Rooney's, Derek Johnsons, going back through times, Barry Ferguson's. It doesn't happen that often, does it?
No, it doesn't. Listen, it's a two-team league you're playing in. You get the pressure it is. is to win at Glasgow Rangers and win week in, week out to win the silverware. So, it's not like you can go, you're supposed to go 5, 6, 4, 3 seasons and you can try and blood some youngsters and it's all right to lose a league title. You've got to continually be looking to be winning the league and the trophies that's presented in front of you and trying to bring the boys in. Unfortunately, usually when they do come in, it's because of mass injuries and they get a wee chance to come in, and then if they're good, like Ross did when they first came in, it was a breath of fresh air. The team were struggling and he came in and he was a wee bright spark for us. And then obviously as time went on, you can pick faults. He's not strong enough, he's not physical enough and all that. But listen, he's talented and it's about just trying to stick with the young players that's coming in. And Cole McKinnon's another one. Adam Devine came in, had his chance. Obviously, we've sent him out to Motherwell. Do you think we might get a benefit for that? Who knows? If no, the benefit we'll get for it is we'll probably sell him if we don't think he's going to be in the long-term plans. But could it be one that we could push through it right back and try and develop?
Interesting. Stevie?
Look, there's a few young boys there. You've got to give them a chance. Look, Southside, I used to, me and JFK at the time used to go to all these games and watch the young boys and used to say, oh, he's quick, he looks good and he's coming through. And look, there's got to be a pathway. You know, the big man's frustrated. He wants the more good players he's got to pick for, the better for him. He wants them to make it. He's one to, we just need to get. They need to, I don't know what it is. Is it a physique thing? What is it, a confidence thing? Some of these boys, and this is why we go abroad, they just seem to be like more manly. The 21-year-olds abroad, and our young boys just look like wee boys. What are we doing wrong here? Are we doing something wrong? Are we not building the physical side of them up better? You know, if they get the confidence, what is it? What's stopping these boys? Because we've got one of the best training facilities in Europe. You know, the coaching and everything else. How is there no a whole string of these young boys coming through? Do you really think they're getting a chance? Is that another? Are they getting a chance? Let's be honest.
I don't think historically you've ever had a right chance at your place, if I'm honest. You know?
Right. So then, what does that come down to, Ox? Why do they not get a chance?
Pressure. 2-team league, as Southside says. Yeah, you've no get time. Every game's too big.
Yeah.
You know? We maybe had our chance if you went back 10 years ago, but that journey's gone, so things have moved on. You know, you're playing for big stakes, and unfortunately or unfortunately, not the best place for development at times. But I think if you are going to be that exceptional player, you'll get in a team and you'll not come out. You know, have we seen one yet, Southside? I don't know if
No, well, listen, when you say that, right, but when the young boy comes into the team and you're saying he's got to be exceptionally good, I would all of them to be exceptionally good, like Barry Ferguson sort of done when he came in, and he commanded the best, he wanted the best, he was a winner, he didn't want to lose, right? You can pick faults in what he says and all that, and people will be probably screaming and saying he says this and that. As a Rangers player, he epitomised everything I wanted on the park in a Rangers jersey. No, so there's pressure on him. He was exceptionally talented. So was Derek when he got into the team when he was a young boy, you know. Ian Durant. No, they came in and they excelled. But we can't keep spending money. If you look at the transfer money we've wasted in the last number of years, when we could have tried to produce one of these boys. You know, I'll just fling one out. Forget Ross McCausland. Why not try and develop Cole McKinnon? He's already said he's a midfielder. He's training with the first team. So if a boy I'm sure the boy's attitude and application's probably right. He talks well on the interview when I've seen him. He's done all right when he's been in the certain games he's come on. He came on against Benfica. So hopefully that boy will get a chance. But we can't keep just thinking we'll just buy money and we'll buy a project because he's 21, he's played 60 games and he comes here and he's no good. He's not any better than what we've got sitting there, but we're not prepared to give him a chance. And as you always say, if his name's no big and you buy a foreigner, you're more likely to stick with the foreigner and keep trying to play him than you would the young boy. The young boy comes in, makes a couple of mistakes, he gets packed out, and you don't see him for long enough.
I'll ask that question to you too then. Is that our fault? Us? Are we too quick to turn him around? We might have a boy that's came for the drum, come through the ranks, and he gets in the team and everybody's happy for him, and then 4 weeks later they say, oh, he's not good enough. But if he came to Benfica for £3 million, he gets 3 months, no 3 weeks.
Aye.
Stevie?
Yep. Aye, it's results, innit? If we don't get the results, you seem to point the finger at certain players, you know, and if there is a young boy who's just come in, then he's going to get the blame, isn't he? He's going to get the after. He's no good enough. We're a hard crowd to please, but listen, it's down to your manager. He picks the team. It's down to him to see through it. It's down to him to have his confidence in him, whether he takes a wee dip in form or no. And let's be honest, wee McCausland has had a wee dip. He came in and he was excellent. He raised a few eyebrows, playing in Europe, doing great. But he's got to add to his game. He's got to score goals. He's got to win matches now. He's got to take the game by the scruff of the neck now. He's got to take that step up. He can't just stay at a level. And he's been dropped, and the manager keeps giving him his wee game. So you're just hoping that he can crack on for one of these things, one of these games. So for me, Big Clement's really doing it with McCausland, isn't he? Give him a chance, Ox. He's giving McCausland a chance. Many starts has McCausland had?
I'll check it out while Southside's answering the question.
He's gave him a chance, and I'm delighted to see. His only thing is he's played him out of position. Stevie, he gave him that chance, you know, but he's got to grasp it. I just think you see a difference in Ross McCausland when he comes inside the park. When he's in the middle of the park, you've seen last night, you can see he's a lot more confident. He wants to go forward. He assisted with a goal at the end. I think you'll get more out of him, but he'll no start in our Rangers first team, because I think your rebuild, I'll know, but it's one that you can bring him on. And when we bring him on, we don't pop him out in the right wing. You put him into the middle of the park somewhere where you'll know that if he gets on the ball, he'll do the certain things that you want him to do. We need midfielders that are busting for midfield, that want to go and run at defenders, take them on, look for 1-2s. And that's what he was trying to do last night when he was in the middle of the park.
Yeah.
You seen him? Right, so that's what I watched him as a young boy. Then he comes into the first team and he gets put in the wing. You know, he's delighted to get in, and he done all right, and he took a sore injury. I bet your form dipped when he went out the team. I know, because him and Tav were playing well together. They were striking up a decent partnership together.
You'll be surprised how many games he's been involved in. How many? Have a guess.
Ross McCausland.
Aye.
I thought 30.
You're not far away. Not far. He started 17 and come on and subbed 22 times, 39 games. Yeah.
Aye, and that's good experience for him, Ox. And he's played in Europe, and he's playing at Ibrox in front of full houses. He was playing in the Lowland League.
He's won cups.
Do you know what I mean? And he'll give you plenty of effort and attitude, because he knows what it's all about to play for the Rangers. But hopefully next year he might not play as many, because I'd like to we'll have a good right-sided winger out there somewhere like that. But I want him to be able to be a part of the squad, come in and get him into a position in the team when he comes on, and hopefully we'll see him make a difference in games until he can earn his spot in the first team in a position that I think he would excel in, which is in the midfield and not out in the wing.
We can't work it. We're just saying, we're contradicting ourselves. We're saying these boys need a pathway, and they should. And then in the next breath, we're saying, well, we hope that he's not going to start all these games because we're hoping that there's bigger and better being signed this season. This is the problem with the Rangers support, isn't it? No. We're moving the goalposts ourselves outside.
To a point.
I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, by the way. What I'm saying is, but that's just how it is. It seems to be there's that much pressure where these young boys get kicked to the curb, and we need to have these big signings in playing. You know what I mean? Better players than what we've got. So Ross McCausland is basically going to become your new Scott Wright.
No, because seeing certain games maybe at Ibrox, like when you want it, if Clement sees that he excels next season, comes back, he's a wee bit puts a wee bit of weight on, but he does exactly what Clement wants him to do, and he plans to put him into midfield. I just don't think he'd probably play every week. Steve, he rotates, but see against some of the teams at Ibrox, there'd be no reason why you couldn't go and stick him in the midfield and play and start him. If you're playing, why not like a Dundee or a Dundee United or a St Mirren or something at Ibrox, then if he's playing well and he's doing a Pacific role and he's adding to the team and Clement can see he's going to make a difference, I just don't think he'll start. I mean, I want better than Ross McCausland, but I want Ross McCausland to develop in this Rangers squad going forward, mate, that's all.
It's how do we fit it all in together, isn't it? It's a jigsaw.
Aye, it's the conundrum, Stevie, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Ross McCausland's one of the troops, a wee Ulster man. You know, and there's no reason want to see the boy no getting a game and no progressing in his game. But I just think, again, I get back to my original point, and I hate being negative about it, but there's too many lightweights in our team. And Ross McCausland falls into that guy. He's too easy. It's like taking toffee off a wine. He's too easy pushed off a ball. He's got a great drop of the shoulder. You're totally right, Southside. He's been playing out in that wing, and that's not his position. His position is a number 10. But he's got that wee drop of the shoulder and the cuts in. I like that about the boy. But again, sometimes he's just too easy shoved off a ball. Toffee off a wing. Too lightweight.
So, what about that announcement today? Just to clear these 2 years up, Mr. Collins has been appointed the head of referees for Scottish football. I suppose that'll be the reward for Saturday's performance. I'll keep you out of this one, Stevie, because I know you've got to take some medication. Southside.
I can't even think what to say, to be honest. Now you've just told me that. What do you expect? Policemen getting put into their spots into the Scottish game, innit? What they call them. That's the way I look at it. Policemen getting stuck in there.
Yep. Unbelievable. No, you're a good ref. Stevie, keep it clean.
I would just pass on this because I want to say what I really think, and I can't do it in live. I can't do it in live radio. I don't want to HR. I really can't. The man is a toto, and I'm making a sign. I'm making a gesture, and I'm telling you, he's an absolute clown. The only thing he's consistent at is being inconsistent. He's an absolute joke. He's a cheat, and we all know what he is.
I think Stevie's looking for some coffee beans, Southside.
Yes, that was.
Aye, listen, I'm surprised actually. I didn't know they were going to announce he was in the reckoning for it, but I just look at it as a policeman and the jobs for the boys, innit?
Yeah, it's for an H.
Aye.
For an H. Anyway, I think we've been joined by Bob Jar. Evening, Bob Jar.
Aye, it's still a good evening, Ox. Good evening to you all, anyway. To be mannerable as usual. I'm deflated. I'm deflated, depressed, fed up, beat off. Every one of these adjectives you can name, I'm it. I even went away on an absolute perser with the dog, and I've just got back. I said, I must phone my beloved Rangers Radio to dispel my feelings on you. We had this one, and we'll let it slip. As I said last week, it's no their achievements, it's your feelings. And it's really got to me.
I don't think you're alone with the feelings, Bob Jar.
No, I'm not.
I don't think you're alone there.
I'd like to think the entire Rangers support feel like this. And we must do something about this. This is happening too often.
It's it's recruitment, mate, and it's difficult, and it's, I don't know, mate. I've not got the answers. There's nothing easy. There's nothing easy.
We've been searching for answers for too long. New manager, new squad.
I think Clement maybe hit the nail on the head when you've got 6 first-team players who are bottom wages that are still sitting with your club with a year to go. it's not a good business model. But I don't know how you change that. Southside.
You're going to have to change it going forward for this season, unfortunately, and it's got to start working properly. That's the issue. Too many players sitting there, picked up money and no contributing. The recruitment's got to be better. There's got to look at what type of player we're going to bring, what we're expecting, what we look at his qualities when we bring them here, and what we think he's going to add to the squad, and what he's going to bring to the formation that Clermont's going to play. And that's what it's going to have to be. It needs to be a lot more better, Bob Gia, recruitment-wise. And if there is any young boys, as we talked about just before you come on, in the squad, then they need to try and get added to try and save some money. But at the same time, they need to try and get on the part and develop them. So, and it's the pressure, Bob. We're playing a 2-team league, right? We've flung it away, so now we need to get it back next year. So that puts more pressure on the players, you know.
Right.
So, recruitment needs to be better, a lot better. And we need to get players with a bit of guile about them. And to get the proper people in. Can't keep with too many projects, Bob, because projects come with a risk. And we can't afford too many risks going forward. Also, we need to get certainties.
We can't go getting guys that are maybe the right age with experience that partly kicked the ball, i.e. got down on that. You know, we've brought him decent wages. What's he brought to the party the whole year? Yeah, he's had an injury. He got injured away in La Manga. But with the piece, he's offered nothing really. Nothing.
Need time for sentiment, guys. You need to see it how it is. I mean, you're talking Ben Davis, you're talking Dow, you're talking Tom Lawrence. Sorry, these kind of guys. Nothing. They've offered us nothing. Nothing. Whether you like them or no,
what does that say? That English fringe players and maybe championship players can't cut it to get us to the next level? Is that what that's saying, Stevie?
100%. 100%. You need to look elsewhere. 100%. That's what I'm saying. Anyway. Listen, can I ask you a question?
When you go, Stevie, then Southside, come on.
Can I ask you a quick question? Right, we've talked about the Rangers and who's people worth and who's offered us nothing. See all these injuries we've had this season. Do you think every one of them have been 100% legit?
I think at any workplace, you'll have the odd guy that might pull a leg, and might be, he could have done it if he had to. But the trouble is, they're so highly paid, I don't know if it makes any difference if they're sitting in the stand. Southside?
Clermont has to get rid of probably most of the squad, because he needs players that he's going to bring in who they'll believe in him and they'll hopefully do that extra year, that extra mile for him. They'll play for the gaffer because he signed them, he brought them here, and once we start winning and get a successful team, it breeds success. So there's probably players that sat there and probably thought, maybe no fancy this week, team's no so great, I don't want to get flagged, I can get... Every team's probably got them, Stevie, every team. No, you could pick names out if we wanted, but whether it's right or not. But every team's got them.
Every team. I care about my team.
Of course we do.
See, when I heard them, didn't want to play because they had a sore thumb, you know, listen, we needed all hands to the pump in this run-in, and there's guys absolutely crapped their pants. That's how I see it.
I don't think it was Diamondi. I think he wanted to play, mate.
All I'm saying is, I'll put it a nice way. Who would play through the pain barrier for us? Tell me a player. Scott Wright?
I don't think Scott would play with the hair out of place, never mind a muscle injury.
Right. What I'm saying is, there's players there that have got carrying wee niggling injuries, and not one of them have went, no, what, I'm getting out there to do the business for the fans and the troops. I'm getting out there with a bit of guile, a bit of heart. They're most of them crawl into their wee shell. I can't go out there. I've got a wee muscle knock. I've got a wee calf, a dead calf. Listen, the old teams have... I know I keep getting back, and I know it's not the old teams and football's moved on, but we need people with guile. I've been saying it all night. In every department, there's guys out there faking injury. There's guys out there with small injuries that could probably go and go and do the business still, and they all shrivel away and hide away. I've never seen a squad like it for injuries in my life. And you're not telling me that you guys who follow the Bears everywhere think that they were all legit injuries. They're all legit. There was none of them kidding on or none of them crapping their pants. So if I don't fancy this, right, I'm going to kid on them. You telling me every one of the injuries were 100% genuine? I don't believe that for a minute. Especially the way they play. They're too nice. There's no hard men. So it just seems to me as if they snide and cower away at times. I'm sorry. That's just how it looks.
Well, listen, I don't think people disagree with you, Stevie, that the team needs a bit of character, Bob Jenner, character. And the leadership needs ripped up.
That was Joe Wallace's big word, character, and by God it worked for him. But you just say times have moved on, Oaks, and we are where we are today. I know what my old man said to me when I didn't want to go to work on Monday morning when I had a hangover. Hey, you're gone, and that's it. And if I didn't go, I didn't get paid. And I didn't see why the same rules shouldn't apply to these guys. I do believe there is a certain element that has chucked it. Results have proved it. We could have won this league with the hands to the pump. We could have. I'll tell you one thing. I'm not going to be over controversial here, but I ken what culture I want out of my club. I want a culture that had 110 years of concerted success, but that's too controversial to talk about. We are where we are at the moment. We've just got to go for it.
I think you've touched a point there, Bob J. I think we've talked about it before with different people. And Southside, last night, if you take the team last night, the two young boys that come on, but it started the game. Was there a Scotsman in the team? Was there a Scotsman in the team? Was it? Leon King, who's a Rangers supporter, Southside.
Aye. That was the only one. And that's what I'm saying. It depends about. See, we're talking about Bob J, as we just talked about. It depends about Rodberg going to sign players here. Because as when you go up to Aberdeen on the Wednesday night in the pouring rain and all that, or as Big Stevie says, you go up against the Farmer Sons up at St Johnstone and things like that, you're going to buy these foreign players and all that, and then some of them aren't up for the fight. Some of them just don't do it. So we'll need to try and keep a bit of Scottishness or get a bit of Britishness through our club. We're going to have to do that. We can't just keep going with all these foreigners. Listen, it can work, but we've seen certain players come and some of them either can't handle the occasion, can't handle the 3 games a week, and can't handle the pressure. So it's on Clement and it's on Cotton to make sure that we get the right players in this time, because we've wasted a lot of money and we've gave up a lot of chances. We've gave away a lot of silverware that we could have won in the last few number of years. So it has to stop and it has to start afresh. And we need to get a lot of the battle scar tissue right out our club altogether and start afresh. That's the way I see it.
We'll look at that team last night there, and we'll look at the back four and the goalkeeper. I think we'd all keep the goalkeeper, even though he didn't have his greatest game last night. It was the fault for the goals, but it was the close to anything. But the back four: Davis, Redvan, Young King, and Tavernier, right? And what I'll ask is, would you keep them all? Would you keep one? Would you keep two? Would you keep 3 or 4? Just last night's starting 11. Stevie?
Last night's starting 11. How many of them would I keep?
The back four.
Back four? King, Davis, Redvan and Tav. I would probably keep 2 at 4.
Southside?
So these last legs, but I keep 2.
All right. Bob J, what are you thinking?
I would keep Redvan. Taverner's beginning to be a serial loser. He's been that for a while. I would keep Redvan. And the goalkeeper, of course. That's it.
Tavernier's first half performance in that team defensively, and getting involved was absolutely atrocious last night, and it has been for weeks. His form in the last 2 to 3 months has been dreadful.
He needs moved on.
Yeah.
Get some money together, get Nathan Patterson back up here.
As much as I like, I want to touch him, as much as I like James Tavernier, and I think he's fantastic, I think his sands of time, I'd keep one. There you go, Stephen.
One, and that's right.
There you go. Just how I see it, mate. And I've got total respect for James Tavernier. The sands of time wait for no man. You know what I mean?
Yep.
If you've seen all bit at the pitch and putt, time catches up with everybody. Didn't it all bit Southside?
Aye, certainly does. Listen, he should get moved on, but it's his testimonial year, and you know he's not going to be moving on anywhere. He might not play every week next year, but he ain't moving. And saying that, if you can't turn around and say he's not going to play every week, and he's sitting there on a hefty wage bill, and all. To be perfectly honest with it, technically it should only be an advantage should be kept out the back four. But honestly,
nobody's going to match the wages he's getting at our club at that age.
Listen, Ox, I told you about a David Golston, and if you have to put Tav in the same bracket with it, I would just say to Golston at the start of the season or end of the season, listen, starting next season, you're no part of my plans, right? You're not going to be in my team. I'm going forward with a new players. You've done well while you've been here, but it's time to move on. When we go to play Man United at Murrayfield, you're not even going to come on. You're not even coming on the park, right? Because that'll be July the 22nd, and you should be halfway trying to find yourself a club. Because the season will be starting in August, so you'll not be in my plans. So you'll need to go and find a club. And it's all right saying you'll be sitting on a big wage. Well, see how he reacts to it. Managers come in, and sometimes players aren't part of their plans when they've got a contract left. So they get told you're not going to be part of my plans. So how can Clement no do that, and that's not acceptable? And you think everybody thinks he'll just sit?
I think I'll get my agent to come and see how much you pay me to leave.
Well, no paying you. You're going to go and find a club, and we'll not be difficult to deal with a transfer fee.
I'll just sit here and pick up the 3 million over the next 2 years.
Well, take that gamble up until August and see what happens. Mm-hmm. Don't put him on the park at all, any friendly or any pre-season game, because you're no part of my plans. I'm going to go out and buy a couple of centre backs, and I'll keep maybe Suter will probably stay. So you'll no be, but see, do you think you'll really want to sit at that age and pick up that money and no play football and no go back to England?
Stevie, £3 million.
No, listen, you're right, Ox. I think, listen, Southside, ideal world, that's what we want. We want the big one to be ruthless and tell them, he's only part of my plans anymore. Come on, look in the mirror. Go on, look what he's picking up. Look what he's getting back. Come on, sling your hook. That's ideal stuff. But Ox is right. See the mentality, the serial losers that we've got there, and these nice guys, they'd gladly sit in the stand. They'll gladly sit up in the stand, taking everything that's gone and collecting £3 million, because that's the mentality of the guys, isn't it? That's what I'm talking about. That's the guys that we've signed. That's it. Listen, see when you pull that Rangers jersey on, you are hated in street level, you are hated in a council level, and you are hated in a MP Andy Chambers level. You're hated as soon as you pull that on because of what that jersey represents. Your Britishness and everything else. You're hated to the top to the bottom. We need guys that's going to come out there with a bit of iron and be Rangers men. Be Rangers men. And they're no Rangers men. That's the mentality we've got. He would sit in that stand and take that £3 million. I'm telling you, I wish I could be the Rangers manager. I'll tell you now, they'd be free to come in and see me. Tell you that right now, they'd be fear to come in and go in front of me.
They would send me in their agent, mate, and say, I'll take £1 million to leave.
I'm telling you, Ox, I'm telling you, you've got to still have old school values. I don't care how much the game's moved on. We need players with a certain mentality, and the ones we've got now are too nice. They're modern. You offended me, I'm offended. I'll just sit in the stand and collect £3 million. Come on, man. About Rangers, man, or what?
Listen, I'm not having a go at Connor. I'm just having a go at modern football outside. I don't know if Connor Coulson would react like that, but that's modern football.
Listen, there's players we've had at Ibrox sat probably longer at times and picked up the money, right? And we know all this. But I'm just saying, he gets a decent wage. Unless Clement has got any vision of playing him next season, we need to move him on. So you just tell him you're not going to be part of my plans, and in the hope that you'll want to still play football at this time in his career going forward. And I would think he probably would. So he will go and find a club. He might think, well, I'll sit about, maybe he'll change his mind, but no, you're not going to be part of my plans, Connor. You've had your time here, and it's time to leave. So get your agent on there and find yourself a club. And I'm sure at some point he probably would. And that's the way I see it. And you just banish him.
The blinders down.
No, well, any friendlies, you don't bring him on, he doesn't play, because you used to go and find a club. And you just need to be ruthless.
Well, I said at the start of the season at Taverner and Golson, your time's up at Rangers. That was under Beale, of course, and we were a shambles. Their team's time's up at Rangers. If you keep them, start with them next season, you've got the same predictability. Like you're saying, it's not going to change. It needs to be moved on. Needs to the back four being a shambles this past while, and it needs to be recognised. Needs to be changed, big time. Apparently, he's looking at this laddie Filevsky Sophie. I don't know nothing about him any other day. But if he's looking to change it, well, good and well, because it can't be any worse than what it is at the moment. But they two, I firmly believe, aye. And in general, yes, we need a different mentality. We need a Rangers mentality. We've needed that for a long time.
The mistakes with they two was giving them. Golson wasn't giving them a contract. It was the extension to Tav and the 4 years to Connor. That's been the problem. And that ties up wages for you to help you go forward. And as much as I think they've been good for us, the sands of time wait for no man, Stevie.
No, listen, Ox, there's been too many pals acts. See that Golson and Tav getting 4 years. That's not a deal. Come on, who in their right mind would have given they 2 4 years? Come on.
I think Tav got a 2-year extension and it was a 4-year contract for Golson. Mistakes outside because of their age, unfortunately. A mistake.
Aye. Connor got his 4 and Tav got an extra extension onto his because probably Golson went above him in wages or something, no doubt. That's probably how that happened. Listen, whoever done it, they thought it was a good idea at the time. That's what they thought, but it wasn't a good idea. Because like you're saying, you could be sitting there and a lot of people might be thinking, well, he'll just sit there for the money. And he might try and sit there for the money and he might do it. I just think he'd probably go and play. I think he'd probably leave. I would hope he would leave. And I think if he just... What?
That's for captain and for vice-captain.
Mm-hmm.
They're not good enough for Glasgow Rangers anymore.
Correct.
Where we stand right here and now, that's our captain and our vice-captain. They're no longer good enough for Glasgow Rangers. I'm sorry. I've backed them. I've put my money where my mouth is. I've followed them. I've cheered them. I've fought for them. I've done everything to make them better and help them on. And I'm standing my ground now and I'm saying, that's for captain. That's for vice-captain. They're no longer good enough for Glasgow Rangers.
I think that's a great way you put no longer, mate, because time moves on. You know what I mean?
They've got just 4 minutes of any time now.
Oh, Bob J.
Sorry, it's okay, it's off.
Right, yeah. I think he's put it well there, Southside. It's no, they've had their moments, part of success, but as I said, you've got to look at age, and if you've played that volume of games that they two have played, law of average tells you, sports scientist or even a crystal ball tells you, Southside, you're starting getting injured. And how many is that Connor's had and sat 2 years into that contract? I count about 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a remarkable run, but you pay for it, mate.
He showed a lot of consistency. They're just showing he's just showing wear and tear now. No. But you've got to look to get better. You can't just keep thinking, he turns up every week and he has some decent games.
It's not a BB. You don't get a book for perfect attendance, mate.
You know, it's about making the club better. It's about breeding winners. No, and get success. We just need to get rid of everybody that was part of the 55 league winning team. All that team has, anybody that's left there has got to go. No, they've just got to go. And we've got to get a new team and breed new winners and get success and come on. And then you'll get players that will maybe just down the tools because they get the action, new manager come in, and then later on they go, oh, well, a wee bit can't be bored today and all that, and they show lack of attitude and application. So, no, we need to get a clear out, and the sooner the better.
Fox loves them. He loves them.
Oh, I know he does. Look, we all love him, but now's the time. And now's the time, Ox. I'm sorry. Now's the time. We've backed them. We've cheered. The two of them peaked to the Europa League final. The two of them, that was their peak. That was the top of their game. And they're just going down the way now. That's the bottom line. They're the captain.
I've just been sent some, Stevie. You like this one? If they two did leave, there'll only be Scott Wright left for the starting 11 against Seville.
Yep, they're part of the problem, mate. They're part of the ones that peaked. They should have went with the rest of them, to be honest. I mean, you look at it, they've just went back the way fair.
Sands of time, mate. Sands of time. Does that make sense, Bob?
Makes total sense to me. I mean, I wholeheartedly agree with you. That team peaked at the Europa League final, and it's never going any better since. Now look where we are. I can't believe that anybody would ever sign for Glasgow Rangers, go in a park, feign injury and no try. Oh, I just can't believe that. Like, play for a club like us, a club of your magnitude, and feign injury and no try. That's no worth buying a season. It's so worth you guys buying season books and going along to see the club if that's the case. I wouldn't go and watch the young laddies playing if I thought anybody was going to try or feign injury. No, this has got to be addressed. We're all feeling below the new, and we need a lift next year, a big lift, because we've lost the style to total mediocrity again. That's what's beating us to our title.
We'll shot ourselves in the foot, or maybe they shot themselves in the foot and we doubled it, Southside, but that's the frustration, isn't it? We had it in our own hands.
Aye, and listen, we've come up short a few times, and certain players and that are still there. Tav's had more managers and he's won trophies. No, in the time he's been at Ibrox. You know, shocking, isn't it? You know, listen, it's just time for change, and it didn't matter if they had won the league this year or won it last year. It doesn't matter. We have to change the team and the squad. You've always got to refresh it. You've got to bring it. No, because these players will just go away, and some of them will look back, and some will. Well, Tav looking at his accolades and all that, what he's won and all that. Right, fine. You'll be asked, many medals did you win while you were at Ibrox? You know, because you were there for how long? Rangers, they won quite a lot. What did you win? No, what's you going to say? No, I won the Scottish Cup, a League Cup, and the league. And maybe another Scottish Cup come next Saturday, hopefully, which he should be really thinking about. No, which we should be looking to win anyway at Hampden.
He's too busy worrying about Maeda. Don't worry about winning the Scottish Cup. That's the problem with your captain. He's too busy worrying about Maeda. Come on, a Rangers captain.
Yeah.
Listen, his form went this season round about the Benfica game, mate. And he's no kicked a ball, yeah. And you've seen it, the individual errors. And as I said, it just goes. He might be physically, or he might be mentally tired because he's had to cope with it all for a long number of time. I don't know. I've got the utmost respect for James Tavernier, but I think no room for sentiment, and you've got to look to move on. But whoever you bring in, he's got to be on a par quicker and if no better, and that's the problem. You know, playing devil's advocate, that's the problem. Southside.
Well, I think we've got the solution there. Sterling just goes into right back. How can you know? You want a defender to defend. That's what we want.
Get him in his best position.
Right, well, his best position might be there in the right back position. I don't know, right, but either that or we get somebody else that we bring in, or you try the boy Devine in time, see if he can come in and do what you want him to do. Who knows? But we'll probably, this is back to the usual. We'll need to go and spend our way out of trouble again. This is what happens. So whatever it is, listen, James Tavernier when he leaves, I don't think there'll be many people. There'll not be many. I've not seen a right back. I'll put it this way. I'll reverse it. I've not seen a right back in all the time I've watched Rangers that have had as many assists and as many goals. And you haven't either, Ox, and near will have Stevie.
We get that.
Right. His stats are fine, but I want to always want a defender that can defend. You know, we need you want to have a solid defence at right back, left back, centre backs. We all talk about it. So there's no point in saying, "Oh, we want them up the park, creating and scoring goals." We want somebody to defend to stop goals, and we've lost a lot of goals for your left hand, his right hand side, and we done it again the other night. Maybe McCausland was involved, but he wasn't even in the picture. So no, it's about getting a solid defence with a goalkeeper. And I'm not interested in my right back getting up the park all the time. In fact, we'll no sign on a right back like Tav has created and scored for us. Honestly, I don't believe in the next 20 year, 30 year that somebody will come along at Rangers and give the stats that he's already done now. No, I just don't think it's possible. The guy's stats are out half a scale.
He'll be the Bob Beeman. The right backs, mate. His stats will never be beat. You know what I mean? Not the Bob Gia.
Tav can do it up and down the league. He's proved it, like you said. Scored a hell of a lot of penalty kicks and free kicks. We know that. I mean, he's done well, the guy. He's a fit boy. But at the end of the day, he's not the greatest football player in the world. He's saying he's terrified for this Maida and all this carry on. His time's up. It's as simple as that. You keep saying it, Ox. The sands of time have got the boy. He's got to move on. Simple as, and take his stats with him. What's are very good going forward. Defensively, no. That's been his failing. He's never been a great defender. I think there's been as much goals come to that side as he's scored, if you take my point. There's been as much goals defensively as there has been gone forward. And I think James Tavernier, Conor Golson, sorry, you've had your time at Rangers, a lot longer a time than a lot of people have had. I think your time's up and it's time you go. It's time you plug the gap. Starting with Dijon Sterling. I agree with that.
We'll see.
That's almost. You're on about right backs for Rangers. I've seen a much better right back for Rangers. No one knows who that is, and I'll stand named after him. Sorry for interrupting him.
I don't think his stats are up there with Tav, but the game was different. No. But I'll be interested. I don't know if right back will be his priority, bizarre as it seems, Southside, because there's a lot of priorities in the team.
I think centre back positions. Well, listen, we're saying, if Golson doesn't get moves and all that, and he wants to keep him, you know what's going to happen, Ox? No, and I'd be questioning my manager, but I'd like to think centre back, a couple of good centre backs. If this sort of rumours true that this boy might be coming, he's a left centre back, good. Need to go and get another right-sided centre-back and probably another one for cover somewhere if he can shift to. But striker and probably right winger, they look priorities. And honestly, Oxford's priorities are the part, to be honest. No, but you pick one and then you just go to the next one. No, we need to fill the team with players, mate. That's what we need to do. We need to fill a first team squad with players, real players. No.
All right, I'll change the subject slightly. Kemar Roof said cheerio to the fans last night. Ibrox, yeah, emotional guy, always well liked with the fans. Obviously, he's spent a lot of time sitting on the sidelines. But was that goal in Belgium with the conditions of the rain? Was that the best goal you've ever seen? Stevie?
I would probably say aye, but as far as Kmart Ruth and what he's done for Glasgow Rangers, I think the boy's a bit of a con man. There you go. All the injuries, he falls in Hampden on a wet surface and his hips away. And 1 to 3 games here and then out again. He's one of the guys I'm talking about when I'm saying that I don't think all the injuries were legit. No way in the world. No way in the world.
Bold. Stick to the subject. Stick to the subject. Southside, was it the best goal?
Just when you were talking about him there, 4 things came into my head about Kmart Roof. It was the wee one he twisted in against them, the header at Ibrox against them, that goal you talked about. And there was another one that's just slipped my mind, it'll come back in a minute, but big player, big moments. But I probably for the surface that night, it was a picture. I mean, let's not be kidding. If you score a goal for the halfway line and you actually went done what he done to get to the halfway line and then look up and just fire the ball, it was some goal. Let's not be kidded. He was a big player when in 55 season, but since then there's no Betis away. Betis away came to my mind when he scored that goal. So that's the sort of big moments I remember. The stuff had happened when he'd about Kmart Roof. But money-wise, it's not been the best of returns. Certainly no.
No. What was that, Stevie?
I'm saying he scored big goals for us, like the one in Betis that got us a right few quid. There's no doubt he was a great finisher. But when you look at how many games he's played for us, I mean, how many games this season has he played for us? When we needed guys like Roof to come back from his injury and dig deep and win us this league, how many games has he played this season?
I'll soon tell you, mate. Give me a second.
But there's no doubt about his good quality. He's no good to us. He could be one of the best players in the world, but he's only playing 3 games for us and then he's out for 6. I know that's no good to Rangers. But he is a natural fan.
It's also box your squad, mate. He's been involved in 102 games. He started 52 sub with 38 goals, 4 penalties. And he's been involved in 8 starts this season in all competitions, 16 as a sub. 2 goals. So the last 2 seasons, he scored 4 goals. So this season, he scored less goals than Scott Wright. There you go. There's a stat for you, Southside.
That just showed you, we need more. You need more people in the park. We need
value
goals.
For money. We're not getting value for money.
No, and if he was fit every week, he wouldn't have been playing for us in the first place because he was a goal scorer. On the park, he could score goals. But that's what we're talking about. People like him that have broke down and no turned up for the last 2 seasons to contribute. It's just not good enough, and it's feelings that it's been allowed to happen. Maybe we should have tried to get rid of him earlier. I don't know, but he was on chunky wages and that, and it's mistakes that can't afford to be happening again going forward.
He started 25 games in the last 3 seasons, mate.
That's the mentality.
Ryan Jack's probably played more than him.
Anyway, Bob, do you thoughts?
I would agree with that. It was a great goal in Antwerp. Fantastic goal. Fair play him. That was his ultimate moment with Rangers.
He'll never be forgotten for that. That goal will be shown.
No, but you're talking about his overall contribution. Nah, sorry. He's an iron that walked on the door, played just like you've said, played 3 or 4 games, then out for 3 months. That's no use. He needs consistency. He's not been consistent. They can all score great goals, but all score great goals, 25, 30-year thunderbolts. Well, you're not going to do it for the next 9 or 10 or 11 weeks. Well, you're not used to the club. Move on, Kmart Roof. Definitely.
I suppose we'll go with everybody's best wishes. Kmart, he seems quite popular.
it'll be interesting to see how many games he plays and he moves on to another club. But that remains to be seen.
It might be pay as you play, mate. Be different now. Obviously, Bonner's gone as well. I mean, Bonner's caused a lot of debate on here. I think Bonner came in 2018. His first party, he's another one that's maybe just could have maybe done with a change, maybe a year, maybe after Seville. Sonny, it's outside, but he's been alright. A signing for us, he's just maybe he's a couple of years too long.
Bonner was good. I remember watching him, Aussie Jack, in the 2 games. He played as at Ibrox and then away. Remember, he was good against us, if you remember. Listen, he's been caught out a couple of times, like, and forever remembered for a couple of bad goals we lost against him up there. I think Bonner done pretty well when he was there under Gerrard and that. I thought he was an integral part of the team. I thought he played pretty well in a lot of the games. No the hardest tackling defender, no very good in the air, I get all that. No been a prolific goal scorer for us either, for sort of defensive players that we've had in the past that have contributed probably over a season more goals, like Arthur Newman and players like that, Davy Robertson in the past probably, but he probably could have went maybe a year or two ago, Ox, but he stayed, and I thought for the money we paid for him, and for at least 2 of the good, really probably 2 good years out of, what's he, year 5 now? Was that 5 he stayed?
6 seasons, mate. 6
was
seasons.
it 6? Is it? As many as that? Well, maybe 4 of them's not been so great then or something, but listen, I looked at this, as I said, he was the only player at St Mirren we lost a goal that actually turned into that team and telling me gear up and get into this mob, and he's leaving, so, but he's had his moments, but I wish him all the best, mate.
Okay, we've reached that time in the evening, and I'm sure this could be debated tomorrow night. There's a man with a list coming on. You know what he's like. I believe it's a toilet roll he's got. Anyway, last word for your good self, Bob Gia.
You've all noticed that Borussia Dortmund are in the Champions League final, and it's much the same boys. So why are they improved so much, and why is a club like us went back the way so much? But thanks for me having me tonight, Hawks. It's been great.
Cheers, mate.
Rangers, you've lifted my spirits a wee bit. All the best, boys. Keep believing.
Always do, mate. Always do. Stevie?
Aye, good debate. Don't like coming on slaughtering any of the players, but now's the time some of them need to move on, mate. I mean, season ticket money next year's all paid. I'll be there supporting whoever's still there. They're all nice guys. I don't wish any bad on any of them, but you've got to look at, stats are personal. Stats are for them to look back with their grandmates and say, they're my stats there. It's cups I want as a fan, mate, and they're no guineas. And it's time now some of them moved on. That's all I'm saying. They're no bad people, they're nice guys, but I need a bit of fighting desire in a Rangers team. That's the way I was brought up, to win, and win again. Thanks for having me, and it was great being on the south side again. And me and him will carry the great debate on the bus. Back every bus got to the games.
South side.
I thoroughly enjoyed the show, mate. Good to him, a big mucker. Stevie, as always. Listen, we're always honest, mate. We want the best for the club. And we've still got 2 games left to play this season. So, like anything the Glasgow Rangers, mate, we need to get a victory on Saturday at Tynecastle. When we get through there to see the famous, and then on to the following week at Hampden, get a trophy. But as anything, mate, the players will need to move on regardless of results. So hopefully the team and the club will do the right thing. We'll get a freshness about our club. We'll get back supporting them as passionately as ever again. Twice this season and start of next season. I believe we're selling out the season book. So we're filling Ibrox. So let's hope we'll have plenty of trophies to see next year. So thanks for having us on, mate. And we are the people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Aye, well, that looks like that's us, Stevie. So I'd just like to thank everybody who listened in this evening. I'd like to thank Fox and Old School Blue. Without them, there is no show. and we'll be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10. So take it away, Foxy boy.